In today's video, I'm gonna give you my 5 reasons why I believe the Sony ZV-E10, which is this camera here that I have right now, is the best live streaming camera right now. And we're starting right now. What is going on, guys? My name is Sam. You're watching Live Production Tips and Tools helping you master live streaming. So the ZV-E10, I have certified this camera as the best live streaming camera, and the reason number 1 is, of course, the price. This camera, if you buy the body only, is actually priced at $700 by the time that I record this video. $700 body only. If you add the lens, depending on which one you get, I do recommend you get the Sigma 16mm f1.4. This is my number 1 recommendation, but you can still get the Sigma 33. Mostly I use this, the 33 f1.4, mostly for photography. However, since this video is about live streaming, of course the 16 is the best in my opinion. Now Sony does have other lenses, the other manufacturers that have made some other cool lenses as well that you can check out, so lens is not gonna be a problem. But for sure, the fact that the camera is affordable, and of course you can easily, it's an interchangeable lens camera, you can easily find lenses without paying a lot of money for it. I think it makes the camera perfectly priced for most people. Reason number 2 is the image quality. The camera does record in 4K, it does record in 1080, of course, and if you're using it to live stream, mostly you're gonna be using it in full HD. Again, personally, I do live stream in full HD. I don't live stream in 4K, so the image quality is really good. If you want to do some slow-mo, you can even do like 120. That's not for live streaming though. You know, if you want to use it for recording content, you can do some good stuff. Really 120 frames per second kind of slow motion, 60 frames per second slow-mo kind of stuff. So you have so many options when it comes to image quality. The look of the actual image, I think it's not super wow compared to, like, I'm using the Panasonic GH5. I feel like Lumix cameras have really good image quality. The look is just awesome in my opinion. However, if you tweak it, you know, out of the box, straight out of the box, Lumix cameras do really provide good image quality compared to, I mean, the Sony camera. This is my maybe second Sony camera that I have tried, and although like if you tweak the settings with this camera, the image quality again is not horrible. It just, compared to what I'm used to, you're still gonna tweak it and it's gonna look as good as, you know, any Lumix camera image quality. So the image quality is really good, and I like that about it for sure. Okay, so that's my reason number 2. Before I go to reason number 3, actually, you can even use it for stills, like taking pictures, family pictures, events, whatever. It does take really good pictures. Okay, really good portraits. Okay, but again, I would recommend you get the 33mm. The Sigma 33mm is perfect for stills. I'm gonna leave links down below. Of course, reason number 3 is gonna be the autofocus. Sony has the best autofocus. Of course, I think Canon too has a good autofocus. But if you compare to, you know, cameras like the Lumix, which is the cameras that I'm used to, it's the autofocus is not the same. This camera has insane autofocus, and this is crucial when you're live streaming, when you are a solo content creator, because you don't want to be dealing with the camera. Let's say I want to focus on this lens. You can see how long, like my Panasonic GH5, it didn't like pick it up right away. Like even now you can see that it's still kind of struggling, like, oh, should I focus on the face, should I focus on the lens? But with this camera, it's like super fast, it's sticky, it stays on you. Sometimes my GH5 would kind of struggle a little bit when I move. It doesn't know if it should stay on me or focus on the background or something else that's in the frame. But this camera has like sticky, perfect autofocus. Either you're doing pictures, either you're using it for video or live streaming, the camera does not disappoint. So this is the autofocus that I would recommend to anyone who's doing video, especially if you're live streaming and you're a solo creator, nobody's behind the camera to pull the focus. This autofocus is actually perfect. Reason number 4 is the fact the camera is actually lightweight and it's actually easy to use. When you receive it, of course, I have added this cage, which is super useful if you want to add some accessories, and I got this grip that I added, extra grip, simply because I wanted to use it for photography. But usually when you receive it, it's gonna be even a little smaller, and you can put it in your pocket easily. You can travel with it easily, and it's not gonna be intrusive. Like people, when they're gonna see you with it, they won't really like fear that you filming them or whatever, because it's a lightweight camera, it's low profile, so that's really good. But it's also easy to use. Just you got some buttons on the top here that you can switch from video mode to picture mode, or push one button, it's gonna give you like a bokeh, like a blurry background, so you don't have to go through this, setting up your aperture and shutter speed, whatever. Like, it's easy to use for beginners, and if you are somebody who understands cameras, you can also customize it to even have like better results, but you can still get like professional look without being like a pro videographer or a pro photographer. So it's easy to use. Anyone can easily use this camera, and I like about it, and of course it's low profile, very small, easy if you want to mount it for a top-down shot, or if you want to put it on the back of your teleprompter. It's just gonna be super easy to use, and makes life easier to set up in a studio. My reason number 5 is the fact that it's actually easy to find accessories for it, and accessories are super not expensive, very affordable. Starting from lenses, Sony E-mount is kind of open to other manufacturers. It doesn't have to be only Sony. So you have some other manufacturers making lenses for this camera, and add the E-mount, of course, Sony cameras. And of course, this is an APS-C sensor, which is something that I did not mention, which is a little bigger, and compared to micro four third, it's gonna perform well in low light, which is awesome. But also the fact that it shares the sensor size with most other E-mount cameras, like it's a big ecosystem when it comes to this type of E-mount or lens mount. So you can easily find lenses, either you go with Sony lenses or other manufacturers, including Sigma. Sigma does have like good lineup for E-mount lenses. You have like Viltrox, you have Nike, you have other Chinese companies really making amazing lenses from like under $200, $300, $400, $500, like any price range. Really, you can easily find lenses for this camera, which is awesome. But other than that, you have like things like cages, you have a cooling fan from your lenses. It's gonna help with the problem that I'm going to talk about right after this, right? You have so many accessories available. If you go to Amazon or any other place where you get your gear from, really it's easy to find accessories for it. Now, the only problem that I have with the camera, of course, is the fact that it does overheat, especially when you're using it to record. So that's a problem. Most Sony cameras do have that problem. The only way, there's 2 ways actually to overcome that. The first one is to buy, there's a little fan you can buy. I'm gonna put a link down below. It's made by Ulanzi, and put it on the back here, and that's gonna allow you to really kind of cool down the camera, which is gonna be awesome. Another way to overcome that problem is to actually not to record using the camera, especially if you're live streaming with it, or if you have like a studio kind of set up with it. Instead of recording with the camera, you can actually plug in the HDMI cable coming to your software, your live streaming software, and use that live streaming software to record if you want to record content. So instead of using the camera to record using a software. That's gonna help because you're not putting a lot of stress to the camera to kind of using it to record. Other than that, the camera is awesome. I like the fact that some of the things that I did not mention, but the fact that it has a microphone jack, so you can easily plug in a microphone if you need that. It has obviously HDMI, so you can plug that HDMI, clean HDMI, to be able to live stream with it. And of course, you have audio headphones output jack that's gonna allow you to be able to monitor your audio, which is awesome. The USB out is actually super useful because you can have the camera connected to a power source using the USB port and have it charging continuously. Okay, and that's gonna allow you to stream for hours, really, without having to struggle with the fact that the battery may die on you, which is crucial when you live streaming with cameras like this, right? You want to make sure it's plugged all the way and you don't have to worry about the battery dying on you. Now, you don't even need to get a dummy battery. Some people get like the dummy battery, but you don't need to get it because the USB charging actually does work. I tested it myself. It does work. It keeps the camera on, and I think it's a little safer compared to some third-party dummy batteries. So that's awesome. But the USB out, you can even use it if you want to use it as a webcam without having to use a capture card. I don't like that feature because it doesn't give you full HD. It gives you 720p. So I like to use just HDMI out. Of course, you're gonna need a micro HDMI adapter to full-size HDMI to be able to send that to your computer, and it works perfectly. So these are my reasons why, guys, I like this camera. Let me know if I forgot any other reason why you like this camera if you're using it. If you're not using it and you actually want to get one, I'm gonna leave a link down below so you can actually go ahead and check it out. I recommend it 100%. I recommend it to all my clients who are building studios. This is the #1 camera that I recommend to them. However, the fact that it's actually good and I told you that the camera is actually good, it doesn't mean when you get it, you're gonna get the best image or you're gonna be able to set it up for live streaming. If you wanna know how to set it up the right way, get the best image quality out of it for your live streaming, you wanna make sure you check out my next video, because I'm gonna show you how to do exactly that, how to set up the Sony ZV-E10 for live streaming. So as soon as the video is done, I'm gonna link it right here. Make sure you check it out, and I will see you there, guys. Take care.